You're watching Telecom TV from the MEF17 event in Orlando. And I'm joined now by Satya Parimi of Spectrum Enterprise. Satya, thanks for talking with us on Telecom TV.
Thank you for having me here.
We're looking at the evolution of service provider businesses, and there's this whole industry transformation that's ongoing. How critical is it that the industry continues this transformation effort?
I think it's absolutely critical for the industry to transform, primarily because the transformation is, I think, primarily being driven from the outside. It's the customer needs that are driving the industry to transform. We've been making changes, we've been making incremental changes and improvements over the last few years, but what's really taken off is the customers, or the end customers and businesses moving to the digital economy, which means they're digitizing their businesses, they're moving to the cloud. What that really drives is a need for a new set of dynamic network services that need to come out at a much faster pace than the service provider industry is putting them out. So there's an immediate need right now for us to rapidly increase the pace of innovation and deliver some of these new services to meet the customer needs.
These services, I guess, at the moment represent a small percentage of overall carrier services, but at some point that demand curve's going to go up. Is there a risk that we then start to sort of cannibalize some of the legacy services, or is that just a natural evolution of the business?
Each transformative change always comes with opportunities and risk. The revenue from some of these new services are fairly small, but they're starting to ramp pretty aggressively. And based on what kind of services you provide today, it's an opportunity for some, it could be a threat for others. As cable MSOs and as entrants and new players in this space, we have a great opportunity from a Spectrum Enterprise perspective to gain new market share, because we offer traditionally services that are not that much a threat compared to some of the legacy services like MPLS that are being threatened by new emerging technologies like SD-WAN. So as an industry, there is going to be some winners and losers as things transform and things change. But I think it all depends on where you're coming from, what products you offer today, and how you're positioning yourself in the market to take advantage of the shift that's coming up.
And as we start offering these new on-demand services, these software-driven services, do they help you as a provider to gain better insight into your customers' needs? Is there kind of a better feedback and a quicker feedback process?
The beauty with some of these new emerging services is the fact that customers are looking for better visibility and control into the service themselves. One way to look at it is most services that we offer today are fairly static. You set them up once, you forget it, they operate. But if a customer wants to have some change or want to see how the service is doing, the service is not very flexible and does not let you do that in an easy way. But with some of the changes happening with the customer needs and the new set of services they're looking for, one of the key criteria for offering these services is enabling customers to look at in real time what's going on with the service, give them control to change the service in real time, and that also provides instant feedback as well. And one of the key things we're doing at Spectrum Enterprise is also doing a lot of surveying of customers and doing customer panels to fully understand what it is they're looking for in these new services. And most of these services have some aspect of a portal or a user interface. And for a lot of them, the service is nothing but what they see on these portals through these user interfaces. So it's very critical for us to understand what is the usable part of the service, how do we best architect the service to meet their needs. So I think there is an inbuilt feedback that we can get from the customers with these new services, because these are going to be very interactive services.
Now, you're a big supporter of the MEF. How important to you is the MEF's new initiative, this MEF 3.0 framework?
I think it's extremely important. As a way of history, when MEF started CE 2.0, Spectrum Enterprise and its early incarnation, Time Warner Cable Business Services, was one of the first service providers to be fully certified to be CE 2.0. And that has helped us tremendously to drive market adoption of the services and gain a big share of the market. And we've been a strong supporter of the MEF because of that. We have the highest number of MEF certified employees. We have almost 700 MEF certified employees. And we strongly believe in the MEF and the program that they're driving forward. So 3.0 is also very interesting for us because it's the next evolution of where the network services are going. The fact that they have decided to focus on services in addition to just connectivity is of big interest for us. And as you can see, as platinum sponsors and massive presence here, we strongly believe in what they're doing. But if you take a step back, overall, as an industry, there is a need for standards and there's a need for collaboration as we move to these new next-gen services. And I think the MEF 3.0 that was announced this morning, I think the program provides a good framework and a path forward for service providers to collaborate together and in a more rapid fashion get these services out rather than working individually amongst ourselves.
And staying with the collaboration theme, another one of the MEF's initiative is to look at this inter-operator orchestration of services, east to west. Is this something that's of importance to Spectrum Enterprise?
It is. When CE 2.0 program was created, it included provisions for doing inter-carrier interconnects through NNIs, and that was also a big push from CE 2.0 to get certified to do it. And that has helped drive buy-sell of Ethernet services between carriers, and that was critically successful for the fast adoption of carrier Ethernet. And I think similarly with 3.0, not only will we be buying services, but we'll be orchestrating services across these interconnects and network boundaries. So similarly, for these services to truly take off, because businesses don't choose to operate within a network provider's boundaries, right? They are where they are. So without having cross-provider ability to deliver these services, orchestrate and deliver these services, it's going to be tough for the MEF 3.0 services to really flourish and take off. So that's why I think the east-west interfaces, even the north-south interfaces, are very important to make sure these next-gen services get built the right way and they can also be delivered anywhere across the globe.
Final question for you. The customers are our lifeblood in this business. What else do we need to do as an industry to ensure that our customers get the best experience, the best service experience possible?
The answer to that lies primarily in listening to the customers more, be more outside in versus inside out. The fact that the current transformation required came from the customers needing us to do something before we realized we had to do it is not, in the long term, the right thing or the good thing. We should be more proactively looking out into the future to see what it is that we should be looking at to deliver services to the customers in anticipation of what they would be needing on a go-forward basis. And I think listening to customers and understanding their needs more, I think, is very important because as service providers, networking has been fairly static and with not a lot of change. And now you have software services coming into networking, and whenever software has gotten into any industry, it completely transforms the industry, and it also provides substitution products. So as an industry, if we are not open to understanding customer needs and adjusting to them quickly, you could have substitution products coming in over the top that could displace us. So it's very critical that we listen and interact more with customers and anticipate their needs and create new services, I think, well in advance of there being a need for us to, in a rapid fashion, change to adjust to what they're looking for. So I think listening more to customers, understanding their needs more often, and being more flexible in terms of delivering these services, I think, are very critical for the industry to survive.
Satya, thank you very much indeed for joining us on TelecomTV.
Yep, thank you.